Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. It's me, Eric the Medic, and I'm joined here by
Hey, Waroi.
Eric the Medic Podcast.
And we had a conversation some time back, and he raised a very, very interesting point. What was that?
Well, I like the way you put it. Interesting.
Very
And
interesting.
it was about punishment. It's actually punishment and pain. Why is it that every other time when we're trying to impose punishments, it has to involve pain?
Because I know the way we are wired as human beings is that we always look for comfort, right? So the moment you find that doing something brings you discomfort, you will avoid it. Naturally, that's our natural instinct. So if I know that if I do this, it will bring me pain. That's why punishment must lead to pain.
But let me ask, this pain, does it cause fear or respect?
Mostly fear.
Are you supposed to do things out of fear or will?
Okay, I think both.
Not-
Both can work.
Well, they can work, but let me ask, human being, you're guided by either will, that is goodwill, or fear. So is it supposed to be really fear as a human being, or is it supposed to, I'm asking, and please, supposed to be fear or will?
I think when you talk about the constitution, when you talk about a country, there's respecting the constitution. When you come to enforcement, you cannot enforce for people they don't follow the law of the country because they respect it, but they fear the consequences.
No, it is because they want to. Because after all, it is because you want to follow. That is why. Let me ask a very practical example. Why don't you steal? Because you don't want, or because it is punishable?
Because I don't want.
Thank you. So why then do you tell me that people do out of fear and not will?
But there's another one who wants to, but remembers what happened to another guy, and he will refrain from
So
it.
punishment, according to you, is supposed to be a learn my lesson kind of thing.
Yeah,
Learn my lesson or learn a lesson.
learn a lesson.
Learn a lesson kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out the way things are done, and people are beaten. There are people who generally gain pleasure through pain. By the way, there are people who gain pleasure through pain. And sometimes you find that these people will go to look for pain wherever so that they can get the satisfaction. A person liveth by satisfaction. You live each day to gain your satisfaction.
Yeah.
And if my satisfaction is getting beaten up or getting paid, and I know that if I am out today by 9, I'll be beaten up. Why will I not be there? So is that punishment or satisfying my satisfaction?
So to you, it's satisfaction. But if you check the majority, like when the police are working, maybe there is a curfew, everyone is supposed to be in by 9. There are those who are there for satisfaction. They want to join in the race.
Of course.
Yeah, the chasing, they enjoy all that. But then, if we take like maybe day 1, there was punishment. Then if you compare the numbers, day 1 and day 2, then I don't think the numbers will be the same.
But I think if we take that example of day 1 and day 2, those of them who went in were not because they want to. Because if we look at the way a country liveth or the way a country is governed, I think will work better than fear. Because if today you're told clean this house, or you want to clean this house, believe you me, this house will be very clean. But if anyone else comes and tells you clean this house, you will not go under the chairs. Trust me. Because you're just doing to just do whatever people want. Right? So punishment is supposed to be rehabilitative to you, not to them.
Okay, let us just stick to that house. I have a very, very nice example. So, I choose to wash this house after every maybe 3 weeks. But then someone comes in and tells me I have to wash it every day. I don't go under the chairs. So which one is better? I wash it every 3 weeks, ama I just wash over here every day.
You wash it after 3 weeks substantively.
Okay, if you find, okay, you're coming in as a new person. Suppose it has been washed after 3 weeks and it has been washed over here, the places you can see every day. Which one will you prefer?
Supposing there's a rat smelling down there. You didn't clear that out.
Okay, nice point. Okay, but we check that punishment really, it changes people because you can't reason with everyone. Like
Sure.
when you're dealing with the crowd, you can't like put reason in everyone's mind. You have to use some force. You have to use some bit of.
Well, the force is fine, but does it have to involve the excess pain? Because whatever you're fearing is not really the everyday kind of pain. Because if it involves just hitting yourself here and you've been used to that, then definitely there's nothing going to be. It's not going to work. But it is an excessive kind of pain which is not really interesting. And it inflicts. There are people who are going to hospital. There are people who are dying today. There are people who are going through corporal punishments today, getting dead because of in the name of punishment. My question is, you're dead. We wanted you to learn your lesson. How will you learn your lesson when you're dead?
It will teach others. It will teach others.
So if I conclude that if it is about teaching others, that if you're caught doing these offense and it involves killing all offenders rather, who were caught doing whatever you did should be done away with. Am I right?
No.
But that is what you just said when you said
The point is that crimes, they have different intensities.
yes.
So there's someone who kills for pleasure.
Sure.
There's someone who was just slashing, then accidentally killed someone.
That is manslaughter, not murder.
Now it will have to be proved, and it's still a crime, right?
True.
Yeah. So there's no way we'll treat those two as the same.
Eric the Medic Podcast.
Well, without a doubt, it has to be proven. But either way, whether it has to be punished, and like I say, having committed whatever crime you will have committed that deserves, according to the law of the land, definitely, that deserves murder, it only means that the offenders of that particular offense have to be done away with.
You know what I like about this country is, one thing I like about this country is that we have some very, very wise people, wise judges. They don't just make decisions, they don't just make rulings. They insist that we're giving you 40 years. Ndio iwe funzo kwa wenye nia na tabia. Not only you, it's trying to bring the sanity back to society.
I don't have a problem with bringing sanity back to the community, and I don't have a problem with the judges in this land. But then I'm talking of people out there. Corporal punishment is still there. And even if we look at people behind back then, we look at Herod, aliitishwa kichwa na mtoto wake, and he was dead. That is, John the Baptist was dead by then. So if they wanted John the Baptist to learn, because definitely he was to learn a lesson, did he learn a lesson in his grave? Or did he learn a lesson in heaven?
Okay, so your point is corporal punishment is
not just corporal punishment. I'm asking of death is painful. It has to be painful. My point is still on pain and punishment, because it will not. Well, look at how they are done. You're given 40 years, and I thank heavens for that. 40 years, yes.
Yeah.
Inside there, you either get presidential pardon, or you'll have to go for the whole 40 years, or you'll die in there, which is not painful in their death, because maybe it will be natural. Whether you die there or you don't, chances are you'll be taught. So inside there, rehabilitation will not be physical, it will be to your mental. Because, for instance, you were a rapist, right?
Yeah.
And like Sabina Chege, Sabina Chege is proposing that when you rape, you be castrated. It's painful. I agree it's painful. But let me ask, when you're inside there, you're taught. So you don't just redeem your manhood, you redeem your brain. And you cannot redeem your manhood without redeeming your brain, right? So if people are taken for rehabilitation and they redeem their senses and not wherever that you'll be paining them, don't you think that will be a good one?
it would be. But we have ideal situations, but sometimes you have to work with what we have. And I would say so far, okay, though not 100%, so far it has worked.
I agree
So
with
far punishment has worked.
I agree with the ideal situation, and I agree with we need to have what we need to have, right? And that is why we are here. We are not just here to just speak and leave the situation to whatever. Because I believe tomorrow you'll be a doctor. Dr. Mugo was once a rapist, and maybe in your public health act, whatever you do, then maybe there will be consequences, and maybe your consequences, according to the acts you will make as public health workers, it will involve less pain and more redemption of the mind. He is in graphics. Wherever they have their acts, according to their profession, they will redeem their minds and not with pain. Because as much as pain has worked, pain has instilled fear, not respect. What about we create a situation where it is now not pain, or less pain, and more redemption of the mind?
So moving forward, okay, so I agree. Punishment has always been about pain,
Yes.
and so far it has worked, but it has also had its consequences, negative.
Of course.
So moving forward, what will be your suggestion?
So
moving forward,
I would suggest in whatever professions we are in, it has its own acts. We are controlled by constitutions in this country and in many countries. And even if we create a group of 2 people, it is advisable that you have your own constitution. So I would advise, if something does not have to be painful, make some mind redemption. For instance, I want to give some very few examples. If coming for a shoot, or if going maybe to you, maybe you have a doctor's meeting, and everyone who goes to that meeting will late, 5 minutes late, will be fined 1,000 shillings. Will you go there early because of the fine, or will you go there early because you love being there?
Because of the fine.
Because of the fine.
Sure.
So moving forward, it is like we have a motivation. It is now not pain, but motivation. For instance, you come here early and you get some sponsorship for your next training. You come here early and you will get some, like, it is not only pain that can motivate people. Something else can. For instance, rapists, if you redeem their mind, they redeem their manhood. Murderers, if you redeem their mind, they cleanse their heart. And mostly all of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are not here to say that punishment is bad. We are not here to castigate punishment in any way. We are here to say that, yes, we support punishment. We support every other kind of punishment. But the main question is, must it be painful? Think about it.
Eric the Medic Podcast.